explain this. Let me put it in a broader context.
Sure.
That all over the world we have women religious, like the Sisters of the Good Shepherd, who are seriously looking and discerning where God is in the world today. Like, what is God wanting to reveal to us about what God wants and desires for the world? So this is what the Sisters of the Good Shepherd are doing. And so they invited me to help in this exploration. And I'm delighted because it's part of my life as a Sister of Mercy to do this. Well, what I'm doing is I'm using culture as a matrix, a kind of a framework in which to do the exploration. And what I am coming to believe is that our contemporary world tells a story. It's the culture of our world that tells a story of domination and of separation and of either or categories. And what happens is that when we use that frame of reference for everything, we get very fearful of anything that's different, anything we don't know. We get afraid of, and we get very anxious. And the outcome is that we now have a culture of violence, and it's all over the world, because instead of love, I think we're fearing each other. So that's on one side. So we're looking at that as this contemporary world having this certain, what we call paradigm or frame of reference or mindset. And so it's clear as we do our discerning and we do our deep listening that God seems to be saying to us, there's another story you need to tell. And it's a story about love, about a story that all of creation is held by God, and that we need to see it as a whole, a fullness, an abundance that God gives to us. All right, but we are all of us a part of it, and so we are deeply, deeply connected. We are not separate, isolated beings. We belong together, and God sustains us, holds us together. And that's a new story God seems to be saying to us. We need to claim again. All right, we need to claim one another as brothers and sisters and belonging together as a whole creation. So that takes in, you see, like the earth, it takes in events, it takes in situations, it takes in human beings. We are a part of the whole of creation, and we don't need to dominate. We just need to recognize our essential connectedness. And I think if we could tell that new story, which is probably not so new, you know, it's as ancient as we know, but we lost sight of it. But if we could claim that again, I think that that's how God seems to be wanting to reveal God's self. All right? And asking us to be partners. And I think this is what's happening. Religious women religious, and men are trying so hard to reclaim that story. So that's what we've been about these days, talking about that reality. Actually, I've been invited to talk, something like this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And often enough, because it's not my job. It's not my real full-time job. Mm-hmm. I am the leader for my congregation. Mm-hmm. So this is extracurricular. But I'm delighted. It's a real privilege to be with the sisters, to come to this mother house and just see just the magnificent work that the sisters do, you know, and to know that it started from a little seed and just grew into this tremendous ministry. Mm-hmm. So that's always great hope. Did you find that helpful this afternoon?
Yes.
Yes? You enjoyed it, huh?
Yes.
Because you got a chance to go outside. Yeah. Okay. That was only the beginning of the work for you. I think you have to do deeper work. I would love to ask you to do something like, you remember the iceberg? We've changed so much, I was going to show it to you on the screen. Getting at the mythical memory, those imaginative the imagination. You really, I think, I would love to see you do some work on, you remember how we described culture? That it has rituals, it has symbols, and it has stories, right? You have touched only stories. But how the stories and the values get lived out in the rituals. Remember, rituals now would be your behavior. It would be your symbols, like the language you use. And do an analysis of all that to really plumb the depth of the gifts